Every time I get ready to film, something happens. Right now, there's a delivery truck right in front of my house. I apologize. It sounds like he's pulling away. So 2 quick things. 1, I am a self-sponsored channel, so you'll see a bunch of affiliate links down below that I would appreciate if you use because they do support the channel. And 2, there is going to be a change in the scheduling. Videos that I were putting up at 3 o'clock in the morning just do not seem to be performing well, so we're going to switch that. So what are we looking at today? Well, we are going to look at the 5 most expensive knives in my collection. I didn't purchase all these knives, and there's a couple repeat companies. Well, there's 1 repeat company. So that's what we're gonna look at today, but not for here and not right now. So we're gonna turn this around and take a look at turn around and take a look at it from above. But first, you guys turn down the volume so you can listen to a little bit of music.
I thought this would be fun because we did a full collection video, but we didn't do it like in order. And I like doing the 5 fast, so we're looking at the 5 most expensive knives in my collection. So not to make it take any longer, we're gonna get into this. Some of these knives I purchased, some of these knives were gifts. I think it's just about 50-50. I purchased this knife, I purchased this knife, and I purchased this knife. Well, not 50-50. So these 3 knives were purchases, these 2 knives were gifts. So I do know the price on all of them, and we're going to go ahead and talk about it. So let's go ahead and start from most expensive to least expensive. So guys, I know a lot of you thought the Norseman was going to be the most expensive, but it's not. This is my Ferrum Forge Master Blaster. These were a collaboration between Les George and Elliot Williamson at Ferrum Forge Knife Works. And they did these. And the reason it's going to be the most expensive is because these knives were right about $600, $650, I believe. Normal price for Ferrum Forge was about $550, $525, depending on, you know, the run and everything like that. And they did runs of $200. These were about $100 more expensive because of the whole collaboration and everything, and that evened the price out a little bit better between the 2 of them. And then you had the premium price of having the carving done. This, I'm not 100% sure exactly what my friends paid when they had this made, because this knife was a gift from my friends Tino and Nico. So this is done in, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Titanium that has been, had black ceramic put on it. This is a full copper inlay that has been hammered in and then left proud and tall and then hand carved by Elliot. The blade was in 20 CV. These were all machined, and all the parts, all the materials and everything. This is a 100% American made knife. These were done sort of in a mid-tech style. Elliot had all the machining done and then did all the assembly in shop, all the fit up, all of these holes and everything, all of the actual fit up and finish on these knives were done in-house. He did have double disc grind done on these, so this isn't like a hand ground blade, but all of the assembly and fit up was done in-house, in shop, with gorgeous hardware. And then that he knows, Elliot and I have been friends for years. He knows what I like. He went with this Geiger-esque alien xenomorph style blade, or a handle grind, and it just came out gorgeous. It's one of my all-time favorite knives. It's striking. It can be polarizing. There are some people that don't like it. I truly, truly love it, and every time I open my case, it's hard for me not to put this in my pocket, because I know that it's hard to carry anything else that I need to do for review if this is out. So there you go, guys. There's the first knife, the Ferrum Forge Maker's Choice Master Blaster. So guys, I think you knew this one was coming. This was a grail knife for me for a lot of years. I finally got it here about a year or so ago. This is my Grimsmo Norseman. These things were running just about $1,200 purchase price new. with shipping and everything on this, I paid just about $1,000 on it, just under $1,000 for the knife. So if you subtract shipping, I'm not going to add that to the cost. I paid about $970 for this knife. So that makes it the second most expensive knife in my case. These things are an amazing knife. I really love them. I've loved them since the first time I ever had one come in for sharpening. It's a gorgeous compound edge here. You've got a hollow and then a recurve. I'm sorry, a hollow ground recurve and then a convexed front. Gives you the best of both worlds. It's kind of a unique looking knife. A lot of people don't like the blade shape. I find it incredibly functional. It is a recurve Tonto, beautifully done handles. This is the gold standard, in my opinion, for smoothness of action. It is not just that it's drop shut, it is that it is 100% frictionless. There is nothing there. A lot of people don't, like I said, don't like it. They find it polarizing. They find it unusual. It's great in hand. It's probably my most used knife. These were done in RWL34. You could get them. There are some that were done in 154 CM. This one's an RWL34. They all come serialized. I think you've seen the video. Most of you have probably seen the video where I take it apart and you see all the little hidden Easter eggs, including under the pocket clip when it comes to engraving and things like that. I wanted a specific look. I wanted a specific type of knife. I wanted one that had the double stop pins. I wanted it RWL34 and I wanted it in a reverse honeycomb. I know a guy that works at a place that brings knives in on consignment for the secondary market. It came in, he asked me if I wanted it. I said, yes, don't put it up on the website. Definitely sell it to me. So the only thing I don't like about this knife is it has a lanyard hole. But there you go. The second most expensive knife in my case, the Grimsmo Norseman. Next knife up that we're going to look at is my Heretic Knives Medusa. Now, this one is an older one. It has, you can see, it has gotten carried. I love this knife. Has the original H clip on it. This one is a button lock auto, so it's a little bit more pricey. The Heretics were going for about $600. This one, because it's a button lock auto, I believe if I looked at it correctly, we're going for about $675, almost $700. This is a really incredibly well-made knife. I love TJ's work over at Heretic Knives. This one is done in a two-tone Cerakote, red and black. Now, I'm not a fan of Cerakote typically, but this is a very well done look. I always thought it reminded me of, if you remember when we were in elementary school, when I was older anyway, they had these things that had the black wax on top and then a color underneath, and you would scratch it with your pencil and you could draw on it and then crumple it up and you would get this cracked look on it. This one is in CPM S35 VM, and this is a serial number 626. These are American made. And like I said, Heretic Knives does good work. I do know that there's a knife out there that there have been a few people say has got a failure in it and has actually deployed in pocket. This is not one of those. This thing is amazing. Action on it is great. The button lock auto is, look, watch how strong it is. Snaps open with authority, and it's a button lock, so you know it's nice and sequestered underneath there. You're not going to accidentally deploy this. You can actually see how much carry this gets. It's filthy in there. Great knife. I wish that this was just cut off and rounded over. I would do it if I was going to be able to recoat this, but all in all, gorgeous knife. And this was a thoughtful gift from one of my paying members, Alex. Alex Io sent me this along with another knife that is in my collection that currently is out with Cole over at Tri-State EDC, which would have been the honorable mention in this video. But yeah, the Heretic Knives Medusa, another very well-made, USA-made knife that just is gorgeous and awesome. The next knife in line is another really strong showing from Ferrum Forge Knife Works. Now, this is the NTAC. It has a larger brother right here. I got it out because they were just at the same price point. This is the Mordax, so I own them both. But this is the one that I think is one of my favorite Ferrum Forge Knife Works designs. This is the NTAC. These were in N690 titanium. The action on this thing for a small knife is amazing. It is great in hand, almost perfect blade to handle ratio. It is just about 1-to-1 when you look at that. Mine actually stands up a little bit tall because we had to do an oversized stop pin on it, so it kind of lifted it up once you adjusted the lock position. But this thing has been a knife that I have carried religiously for a lot of years. It's the first Ferrum Forge knife I ever bought. Beautiful drop point blade, comfortable in hand. In a small package, it's still a workhorse of a knife. A lot of people don't like it because it is relatively thick, but for most of the things you're going to do, even if it is thick behind the edge, it still cuts really well. The N690 on it takes a screaming sharp edge. And the fact that they did such a good job of shoehorning that much blade into that handle is amazing. There's a gorgeous look to it. The carry on this is just phenomenal, how easy it is to carry it in and out of pocket. And like I said, this was my primary carry for a lot of years, and it still gets a lot of pocket time. You can't go wrong. I did do some minor modifications. I opened up that choil. I had Elliot add some jimping on the flipper tab, just a little bit of aesthetics. Not that it needed it. It was just something for show. And then this diamond pattern on it's great. The rolling detent on it gives it a unique action. There is like no play in that. There's no detent lash. It just fires like breaking glass. And for a small knife, the action on it is really good and really snappy. So there you go, guys. Like I said, coming in at like $525, I think is what I paid for this one. Knife so good, I bought one for my father as a retirement gift. So guys, let's look at the final knife. And the final knife is my Sebenza 21. I paid about $420, $430 for this knife. They were hard to come by at the time. I don't remember what was going on, but this is another American-made knife. So for guys that say that I don't like USA-made knives, I would tell you that none of these knives are overseas. Even the Norseman is made in Canada, which technically is North America. So all of these knives were US-made knives, well, American-made knives, you could say. These are Idaho made by the Reeve family in Idaho. Great knife. One of the all-time best knives, in my opinion. One of the best blade shapes for getting work done. The hollow grind on it lasts forever. One of the first, I think we talked about it the other day, one of the first frame lock knives that took up a place of prominence in the knife world. It's one of those knives that is easy to carry, easy to use. I don't even mind having a lanyard on it. Great knife in hand, feels great, just about a perfect cutter for all around day-to-day tasks. The action on it is second to none when you talk about washer run knives. I can't think of a knife that has a smoother action than a Sebenza. The S35 VN blade is just about perfect. I complain sometimes that it might feel a little soft, but that also lends itself to extreme ease of maintenance. And if you are sharpening this at a grit that is commensurate with the steel, which is about, for me, about 600 grit and then a quick strop, comes in great. The titanium handles are done beautifully. The pocket clip is non-issue, non-hotspot. Does not affect at all. It's probably one of the best pocket clips on the market, even though it's kind of unusual looking. They even did their cutout, their mill out here the best way possible, which is on the inside. And this is another knife that I've purchased twice. Now, the NTAC I didn't purchase twice because it was a knife I loved. I bought one of these a long time ago, sold it, and within a week realized I had made a mistake and purchased a new one. So there you go. There is number 5, the Chris Reeve Sebenza. And that would bring us to the end of this video, guys. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts.
So there you go, guys. The reason that this one was in the top is not because it is special or anything like that. I just know that the collaboration knives, I'm sorry, that Ferrum Forge used to do were about $100 more expensive than a regular knife. Then you add in the premium for having it being a maker's choice, puts it at about $1,100, which is more than I paid for any of those knives that you see on the counter or any of the other knives cost. So there you go, guys. That's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. But if you do hit the bell icon, make sure you've got notifications turned on your device, or you will not get notified because YouTube just cannot make your device do things that you won't allow it. If you want to support the channel financially, like I said at the beginning, all those affiliate links down below, they all support the channel directly. They don't cost you anything extra at checkout. And there's a bunch of stuff down there, including my Blade HQ, Coffee Brand Coffee, a VPN, and all the stuff that's on Amazon. And any of the ones that are on Amazon, no matter what you click on, I still get credit for it. I do have a membership link down below that gets you in on a tier-based membership. Pick the tier that suits you best, but remember, everyone saves $5 off my sharpening service, and everyone has access to my gilded server. But if you're a premium tier member, you have access to a sharpening tutorial series. And the final way is I have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co. I've set up a coupon code that works anywhere on Ember Shirt Co. That coupon code is CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp. Saves you 10% at checkout, and if you send me a picture of you wearing my merchandise, I will put it in a video. Guys, I love you all. I'm glad to be back. This has been a lot of fun. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Keep it clean in the comments section, and I will see you in the next video.